Okay, so we're in the Alshech synagogue, Rabotai, in Parashat Ve'et Hanan, and we have the schut of learning, continuing the parasha, where we're going into Moshe Rabbeinu's prayer, and we're talking to Hashem right now with Moshe, and we're figuring out what Moshe is saying to Hashem. And we said before, Moshe told to Hashem, "You have begun showing me your greatness." What does he mean to say that? What's behind? What's in between the lines of this statement? You've begun to show me. Like, what's he trying to say? For example, if you go to the king and you receive a special reward, a special gift from the king, $100,000, and you get a check in the post, $99,000, and you're like, what is that? Why can't you give me $100,000? What's going on? If you're giving me the gift, give me the full gift. You've given me the chunk. You've begun the thing. You've given me the most. All that's left is this. If you want to be considered one who gave a $100,000 check, then do it. Why are you a $99,000 check guy? So Moshe is telling Hashem, you've given me the 99,000, give me the last bit, let me get in. What is it already? We're at the end of the game. It's like, you got me to level 99, just let me do the final bit.
Is he also saying, wasn't this the purpose of all the other stuff?
We'll get to that, yeah. Okay. That's going to be the build-up.
Yeah, okay.
Because like we know, Moshe Rabbeinu came to the Jews and he said, Hashem said to Moshe to tell the Jews, the four languages of redemption. So it means I'll take them out, I'll redeem them, I'll save them, and I'll take them as a nation. That's the 4 cups we have in Pesach. But there's the 5th cup, which is called the Heveiti, and I'll bring them to the land. So we haven't got to the 5th cup. So basically Moshe is saying, we've drank 4 cups, should we do the 5th?
And we sing Dayenu, but what we really mean is...
Yeah, the Navi, we need the Navi to come and give us the 5th cup. So that's really what Moshe is saying, is like, we've done 4 cups, we've done 80%. Let's do the last cup already. Another way of understanding what he means by saying, we've begun the process, let's finish it, is in a different understanding. It's like when somebody makes all the preparations to receive a gift. For example, the gift, the king wants to give someone an exotic animal, a lion, as a gift. So the guy's like, "Oh, that's a cool gift." You know, in Saudi Arabia, everyone gets these gifts from the princes and stuff. So he's like, "Okay, I've got to set up a proper, a cage and clear some land and buy a plot and figure something out, create like a fake jungle." So he does that all. He gets it all done in a month. Puts out I don't know how much money for it, and then the king's like, "Oh no, you're not getting the lion." He's like, why did I prepare all this situation for? So he's saying, Moshe Rabbeinu is saying, all of this is what you were mentioning. All of these nisim until now were great, but they were all just a preparation for the big game. It was all leading up to the final, right? It's only a beginning to the land, giving the land. Giving the land is the end of the story, but every end of the story is the beginning of the thought. But the thought you have a thought, and then you have to bring it into reality. So when does the thought come to its completion? When the last step of reality has been brought out. That's what the Tzfat Israel says, that the beginning is always connected to the end, and the end is connected to the beginning, because in the thought, the story already happened. You've already visioned it. And then, I actually have to get out of my dreamland and do something about it, and then it's not happened anymore, and then you have to make it happen. Until it's happened, then, that's what I thought about originally. So Moshe Rabbeinu is saying, what was the plan? To bring them into the land. So all now, let's go and connect, let's go to the last part, which is completing the circle. Right from the beginning, when Hashem spoke to Moshe at the burning bush, I'm going to redeem them from Mitzrayim, to be able to take them up to the land of milk and honey. So this was the plan. In short, when Hashem gave the inception of the idea to Moshe at the burning bush, what was his description of the plan? Take them out, bring them in. That's the plan. It's a 2-step process. So We haven't got to the plan. This is a very interesting point, he says. Even though we have reached a certain purpose already, because we received the Torah. That was another purpose of leaving Mitzrayim, to receive the Torah. However, says Rav Moshe, Kisham ikar kiyuma kanoda. In Eretz Israel is the real place of keeping mitzvot. Why? Because the land is a physical land that is holy. So where's the place to do physical actions that are holy? In a place where the physical land is holy, and the fruits that grow from it are holy, and the cities are holy, and the walls are holy, and the air is holy. So that's the place to be physically holy. Until then, if we're in Chutz La'aretz, it's kind of a bit out of place. As the Ramban says, for example, all the mitzvot we do out of Eretz Israel is just practice. Tziyunim. It's just little symbols. It's symbolic. And that's why in Chutz La'aretz, in a way, people find it harder to be, deep in a way. Like if you come to Tzfat, people have deep souls, because they come from Chutz La'aretz where there's a lack of pnimiut, because it's all just actions, symbol. It's almost become like the Seder, even for a really religious Jew, is not that much different than the symbolic Seder happening in New York at this traditional Jew. Because where's the redemption of Mitzrayim? You look in the Tanya, for example, what it means it's Yet Mitzrayim. That doesn't really happen with people, even because we're in the time of Galut as well. But in Eretz Israel, so Be'ez Hashem, every one of you, wherever you are in the world, come to Eretz Israel, bro. Safest place in the world, man. Mm-hmm. And Tzfat is the safest place in Israel. Yeah. As long as you don't read headlines. Headlines are the worst. That's like psychological warfare, bro. And it's what's happening. I was watching this WhatsApp feed from a week ago. Every day was imminent attack within the next 24 hours. Yeah. The moving ships, the moving missiles. And I was whoa, I haven't read the news. Thank you, Hashem. In my world, Tzfat is the safest place in the world. As it is, because the headlines are fake. But yeah, so we should merit to live with Hashem. So another thing that we've actually managed to complete is going and conquering Sichon and Og. But Sichon and Og, says Moshe, is also still the beginning, because we've just conquered the porch area, the area in front of the house. We haven't actually conquered the land itself. So we've gotten right to the door. We've even created a nice garden before the palace. But why am I outside the door, not able to get in? All of this is just a beginning and preparation to get into the land. If I will not go into Eretz Israel, it would be likened to what we said before. If he begins receiving a gift, he doesn't get to the purpose of the gift. If you don't actually reach the purpose, then all the means we did to get to the end become meaningless, because they're only means if they get to the end. Therefore, Moshe is saying it's all beginning, so we don't want it to be useless. It's like the guy setting up for his gift and then he doesn't get it. So he's saying you began showing your greatness. You began showing your greatness. So what have you began showing? So Moshe starts off saying you began showing at Godlecha. And Rashi says, what does it mean, your greatness, your gedula? What's gedula, Rashi says? The mitzu midat tuvcha, your goodness. Hashem's greatness is his goodness. Right? Because to be good is to be great. A sucky person isn't good. Right? So Hashem's greatness is to show his good to the Jews. And you also showed your harshness, your strong hand in Mitzrayim. So you've shown all the sides of your abilities. And you also showed me. Where did you show me? The Matan Torah. When it came to Matan Torah, you showed me that there is no other God in heaven and earth. But then he finishes off, Asher Yaseh K'ma'asecha. There is no other God that can do as much as you do. So what does that mean, Asher Yaseh? Achinei Shnei Dvarim, Asher Mi'el B'Shamayim V'Aretz. So now Rav Moshe is telling us there's two statements Moshe is saying about the greatness of Hashem. First of all, Asher Mi'el B'Shamayim V'Aretz. There is no God in heaven and earth. Not that there is no God that can do as great things you do. No, there is no God. Mi'el B'Shamayim V'Aretz, there's no. It's like a question, it's like a rhetorical question. Is there? No, there isn't. Like we say in En Kelokenu, Mi Kelokenu. Really, it should be the opposite. We should start with me, right? Is there? Because no, we know there is none. But we're just going to point it out. So Moshe started with me, and he's saying, in the me is the En. There is no God. And when did Moshe see that very clearly? That there is no God in heaven and earth? That was at Matan Torah. Ki Matan Torah ra'a Moshe ayin ba'ayin. He saw this eye to eye. He saw this very clearly. He saw this with no doubt. Moshe saw that the heaven and earth, even when in earth where there's people that have agendas, there's natural disasters, all kinds of things happening. So you would think, oh, Hashem lost control on earth. Only in heaven he's ways in control, desperately trying to pull the strings but not really managing. No, Moshe saw it's all one story. Hashem's in full control. Where do we see this clearly? It says Moshe went up to God. And it said Hashem came down to Har Sinai. So who went up, who came down? Says the Gemara, Rashi brings it, in Medrash, Melamed, She'irkin HaKadosh Baruch Hu HaShamayim V'Shemei HaShamayim E'alyonim. Hashem lowered all of the heavens, and the heavens of the heavens. All this, the whole reality of Hashem's leadership and existence in heaven, He brought it down all the way to the mountain. And then, then basically Hashem completely consumed the atmosphere of earth with His presence, and which He basically showed that His atmosphere works alongside it. It's not contradicting the earthly reality, because He comes here and the same reality exists, and He's just showing that He's revealing that He's the one running the show. So usually we're not, right? We're not. This is like the level of prophecy, of knowing the truth. Usually we don't have that truth because we're stuck in the earthly dimension. So Moshe was the one who was at the top of the mountain, and therefore Moshe was the one that actually saw this from God's perspective, and he saw how he saw it the most. Like everyone else wasn't allowed to go on top of the mountain, which means they weren't allowed to enter that clarity of existence because they weren't ready for that truth. They weren't able to receive it. Even the speech of Hashem that came to them in the Ten Commandments, they also couldn't consume, and they passed away. They completely passed out. But going into the level of Moshe, that was obviously not possible, and that's why Hashem twice, again and again, told Moshe, tell the people they must not go up the mountain. If you go up the mountain, you get killed. What's going up the mountain? Right? Going to places where you don't belong. So that's number one. Moshe saw the truth on that day of Matan Torah. There is no other God. Number two, Moshe Rabbeinu mentions to Hashem, Asher ya'aseh k'ma'asecha, the one who does the amount of good that you do, and that you did to us. Which good? For specifically be'er, the fact that they had flowing water in the desert, uman, they had man every day, uslav, vanani kavod, the clouds of glory, and the birds when they wanted meat. So we see that Moshe is telling Hashem, another thing about Hashem, besides the fact that He's the only one that exists, He's also good. We saw your strength. Fighting the Amorites, you showed your strength. That's why Rabbi Alshech says, the fact that it says Asher twice, it says Mi El, Asher Mi El Bashamayim V'aretz, and then it says Asher Ya'aseh K'ma'asech V'asecha. So the word Asher is mentioned twice. It should really only be said in the middle. Who is a God like you? Asher, that can do all of these wonders. But the fact that it says Asher in the beginning indicates that Asher Mi'el Kamocha, that's one thing. And another thing is that you're the one with all this goodness and strength. Everything that you have shown and revealed to me is all just a beginning. It's all introduction. The purpose of all of these wonders is to actually reach the land. Because you've done all of this preparation. What about the purpose? Why are we missing out on the purpose? Nothing that you've shown me is complete, because we're missing the purpose to make all of this effort and all of this revelation have meaning, because it reached the purpose. Like I want to cross the Yarden. So we shouldn't have a situation where we prepared for no reason yet. Or Yamer. So Another way to understand what Moshe meant by saying that you've began showing me. Shekara Moshe Yitod Barach Kasher Yikre Lemar'e La'avdo Zekan Bito. If one takes his trusted servant that was loyal to him his whole life, and he shows him around his whole estate, it's like shows him how many fields he has, how much cattle he has, how much all of his crazy riches in his palaces, and Mechamadav told him, shows him all his treasures. Mibli yivakesh ha'eved meito, rak ma'etzmo yareu. This servant never asked. He never asked for this tour. It's just the king wants to spend time and show him and reveal himself to him, and show him how great he is. But and then what happens? He's like, wow, you've shown me all your whole estate, all of your riches, all of your treasures. I want you to show me a wallet with some coins inside. It's like, what's the point? You've seen it all. What's that? Which compared to what he just showed him is nothing. But the servant says, all I want to see is just the wallet. Like, you've shown me everything. You didn't hide anything from me. So why can't you show me this one wallet? Moshe says, why don't you show me Eretz Israel? Why can't I go into Eretz Israel? What is it already? Now he's downplaying, according to this explanation, he's downplaying Eretz Israel. He's like, you've done all of this, you've shown me everything. Okay, let's just get in. והוא כאמרו ז"ל, אתה אכילותה. אתה התחלת להראות לעבדך ניסים וגבורות, שנאמר ביום ממש אסור עונה והראה את המראה הזה. So now we're saying אתה אכילותה, referring to the burning bush. How's that tying in? אתה אכילותה להראות אותי את גודלך, הוא כביכול את כבודך. You began showing me already at the burning bush your Shechina. The Shechina was revealed there, but what does it say? Moshe didn't look. V'yaster Moshe panav. Moshe looked away. He hid his face. Mehabit el Elohim, from looking at God. And as we know, Moshe was actually an incarnation of Hevel. And we know that Hevel, why was he killed? Why was he deserving to be killed by Cain? It was because when he brought his korban, there was a great revelation of the Shekhinah, but he shouldn't have looked. He shouldn't have tried to get involved because he wasn't worthy. And that's why, for looking a place where he didn't belong, spiritually obviously, he deserved death. So Moshe, now being his incarnation, fixed it by not looking. He didn't look. Later on, then after the Egel, when Hashem completely forgave the Jewish people, Moshe said, okay, now we have an opportunity to receive revelation of Hashem's glory. So he asked Hashem, Hareini nat kvodecha, show me your kavod. And what does Hashem tell him? Hashem tells him, when I wanted, you didn't want. You looked away. Now that you want, I don't want. You got to know what I want when I want it. He's saying the Jewish people, so now he's telling the Jewish people, you think I'm not praying? I'm praying. I'll tell you how I'm praying. Means I prayed repeatedly with many different versions of prayer, or many different expressions of prayer. According to the Midrash, he actually prayed the numerical value of Ve'et Chanan, which is the gematria also of Shira, and also the gematria of Tefillah without a Yud, which all is the gematria of 515. Therefore, he's saying that I davened, and I bowed and I davened. So his prayer to Hashem is that even without praying, you gave me all of this, you showed me all of your wonders. So now he's telling Moshe that you showed me everything. But, so why does it mean he showed me specifically? Hashem showed all the Jews equally. All the Jews saw this as well. They didn't see like I saw it. They didn't see what the level of revelation that I had. Even though the Jews realized that in this world, in this earth, nobody can beat Hashem. Shigam b'shamayim ein osek ma'asav. So we don't know, the Jewish people don't know if in heaven there's also no other God like God. We only know what's happening here. But they believe there's no other God. Why? Because the fact that that Hashem did so many wonders against the Egyptians, and Hashem said, I am the God, I am the only existence. And who piped up? Did any other God say, what are you talking about? You're the only existence, I'm bigger than you. So when Hashem made the claim in front of the whole world that I am the only thing that exists, no competitors came forward and said, who says, maybe I exist as well. Right? That showed that obviously there's nothing else. The entire world actually became silent when God spoke. Hashem even made that the voice of God, the voice of the Har Sinai, didn't have an echo. So that there shouldn't even be a rebound of the noise, which would sound like there's another source of the sound. To know there's only one source. So now that we know all of the wonder that Hashem does in this world, where He's shown by conquering the Egyptians who were on top of the pyramid, Hashem showed them that no, in this world at least, nobody's stronger than me. But what about maybe there's some other realms where God isn't so unchallenged? But the Jewish people knew, with emunah, that there is no other God, even though they didn't go up to heaven to see. They believed. Ach alta ma'alat Moshe. I'll call that Moshe Rabbeinu, however, was way above that. He went above and beyond. Sheinav ra'u mamash lazar, he saw with his own eyes. Ki walala marom, he went up to heaven. Ve'reihu yitbarach takol, Hashem showed him everything. Moshe amru, as the rabbis say, b'chol beiti ne'emanu. He is trusted in all of my household. Ki kol ma shenamala yareu. Hashem didn't withhold anything from him. Lo ne'elam davar shelo yaralo. Hashem trusted him to take in all of the secrets that exist in heaven, and that he would use them appropriately. Hashem trusted him with everything. And now he knew for sure. He saw with his own eyes. Now he's explaining why only going into Tzfat Israel would be considered a small wallet of coins. Why? Because compared to showing him the whole heavens and high heavens that Moshe Hashem showed him, okay, going into Tzfat Israel is very special, but compared to that, that's why he's saying that it doesn't compare, and he should be able to go if he's already showed him that. It's like the king that showed his servant his entire estate, but he didn't want to show him the small wallet. So Hashem will continue next time, and we'll do